The process flow in handling children allegedly involved in dangerous drugs is stipulated in the revised protocol when handling children involved in dangerous drugs, based on the amendment of Board Regulation No. 6, Series of 2019 of the Dangerous Drugs Board, or DDB. Led by the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council, or JJWC, a technical working group was formed to review and revise the protocol to provide clearer guidelines in providing appropriate services for children at risk, CAR, or children in conflict with the law, CICL, who have been involved in dangerous drugs. According to the protocol, children should be treated with respect and must not be treated in the same manner as adults. Children covered by this protocol shall be accorded their rights without discrimination as guaranteed by the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. This protocol does not apply to the following children allegedly involved in dangerous drugs: child who files an application to the DDB for voluntary confinement under the DDB Regulation No. 3, Series of 2007. Child who tested positive under the random drug testing programs in schools according to the DDB Regulation No. 3, Series of 2009. And child who seeks treatment in private rehabilitation centers. The process flow starts with intake. The child must be first identified either as child at risk or child in conflict with the law, as the intake process will depend on their context. If a CAR submits or surrenders, the person in authority will notify the local Social Welfare and Development Office, or LSWDO, and ensure the presence of a social worker in the conduct of the necessary intake processes to obtain essential information for government documentation. In this protocol, persons in authority include law enforcement officers, local government officials, or any other representative of government performing a role in its campaign against dangerous drugs. If a child is apprehended, submits, or surrenders for allegedly committing offense and treated as a CICL, the intake procedure for CICL will be followed. The intake process should always be guided by the best interest of the child, conducted in a child-safe environment, in the presence of the parents or guardians, and sensitive to culture, age, and gender. Before any intervention, consent must be given by the child's parents or legitimate guardians. Both CAR and CICL must undergo screening. Screening must be performed by a certified service provider of the Department of Health. The screener must use certified DOH screening tools such as ASSIST, or Alcohol, Smoking, and Substance Involvement Screening Test, and CRAFT plus N, which stands for CAR, Relax, Alone, Forget, Family and Friends, Trouble plus Narcotics. Other than the family of the child, the result of any screening and assessment procedures must only be known to the local social worker, multidisciplinary team, or MDT, community-based drug rehabilitation service providers, and/or the court and facility for CICL cases. The MDT has the discretion, if deemed aligned with the best interest of the child, to require both screening and assessment processes, regardless of risk level. The next step is treatment. At any level of the treatment intervention, parents and guardians of involved children are required to participate to ensure accomplishment of intervention objectives. Treatment interventions vary depending on each child's circumstances. Children screened as low risk must include general interventions that focuses on risks and effects associated with substance use, emotion management, and refusal skills. For children who use drugs, see Wood, screened as moderate to high risk and have been assessed to have mild substance use disorder, their treatment program must include risks and effects associated with substance use. emotion management, refusal skills, life skills, and relapse prevention. For C. Woods, assessed to have mild substance use disorder, a community-based treatment and care program determined by the MDT will be given. For C. Woods assessed to have moderate to severe substance use disorder, a treatment and care program will be designed by the local social worker and MDT in accordance with the recommendations of the DOH-accredited physician. As much as possible, treatment programs are given at the community level unless there are compelling reasons to recommend inpatient or structured outpatient treatment. Intervention or treatment programs may be facilitated by the local health office or facility, barangay or local council for the protection of children, NGOs, ADAC, and schools. Upon completion of treatment, the child will be given a certificate of completion. No aftercare program will be given to children screened as low risk on substance use. Aftercare and social reintegration program will be given to recovering children who use drugs, or RC Woods, who have finished their treatment intervention program. If the RC Wood is a CICL, they have to complete their diversion program or other court requirements first before being provided an aftercare and reintegration program. The aftercare and reintegration program will be created and implemented by the LGU's BCPC through the MDT with the LSWDO as the case manager and overseer. Other implementers may include the BADAC, anti-illegal drugs focal point persons, health service providers, law enforcement agencies, community leaders and volunteers, and representatives from the faith-based organizations and the academe. After reviewing the necessary documents turned over by the MDT, the LGU's reintegration team will plan an 18-month aftercare program, while taking into consideration the child's best interests and family's circumstances. All aftercare and reintegration programs and services are created to assist both CAR and CICL in their recovery journey and facilitate their social reintegration. These programs and services shall be consistent with DSWD's Yakap Bayan program, which aims for the child to be successfully reintegrated to their families and social environment. Yakap Bayan aims to prevent relapse among RC Woods, address risk factors, and sustain protective factors to maintain a healthy life away from illegal drugs. At any stage of this protocol, the child must be handled separately from and will not be mixed with adult P. Woods. Remove the name of the child in any list of drug personalities maintained by law enforcement agencies or any list used for the government's anti-drug campaigns upon completion of treatment program. Every decision made for the planning, designing, and implementation of the programs and services must be aligned with the best interest of the children and based on their needs and circumstances. There should always be a case manager supervising all services that the child will be going through. And the parents or guardians of the child must always be informed and involved in every step of the way in the process flow. Remember, the family and the community play a key role in achieving a life without drugs and other vices. Let us all work together to provide the highest quality of services, care, and intervention programs for children to support and help them achieve a drug-free, healthy life.